Hey guys, what's going on? This is Derekus, and this is Channel Zapped. Today I'm going to be reviewing Naruto 663, and this one was titled Absolutely. And this was a good chapter. But before I go into it, I want to say I want to pass my condolences on to Kishi-sama. Kishimoto's stepfather passed away. That was the reason why this chapter came out later than it did. And in my previous video, I was kind of, nonchalantly saying that, we had just had a break. But we have to realize that, Kishi's a person too. And we have to remember that things happen in people's lives, and he's not just an artist or a creator. He is someone's family member. So I do want to pass my condolences on to him. Um, it was something to think about, and I really wanted to do that at the beginning, just to, I respect his artwork. I respect his work that he's been putting out, and I think it's important to recognize that with other people, that life is going on just the same way for them as it is for us. So with that being said, I want to get into Naruto 663, and this was a really good chapter. The tension is still there from the previous chapter, where we have a lot going on. Naruto's pretty much dead at this point. Sakura's trying to save him. Sasuke's looking like he's dead. And we have a lot going on in the background. So Sakura, she's still trying to do that thing where she's trying to save Naruto, and she recognizes that, he doesn't have any chakra, his heart's not beating, and she pretty much goes full on surgeon mode, just like, chakra knife hand turns to this like cool, like, the chakra where it gets all sharp and whatnot, and she just goes right in, incision to the side, go in, grab a hold of Naruto's heart, and she's basically just like pumping his heart, trying to make sure that, the blood is still circulating, getting through to his body, because if it's anything like, I'm assuming like real life, you want to have the oxygen through the blood get up to the brain, because you don't want it to have any kind of brain damage or anything like that. So that's really, I really like that, that she's going full on. I don't know if anybody watched Grey's Anatomy, but pretty much going full on Christina Yang right now. She's going in with that. She's like very focused, I know what I got to do. She goes in, she does it with a little bit of chakra that she has left to be able to make that incision. Gaara, by the way, they're still on their sand, and they're still traveling out, and they're trying to figure out, and Gaara is actually telling her, like, this is what Naruto's Nine Tail was telling me, that we have to get him to the fourth Hokage so that we can pass on, the other half of the Nine Tail back to Naruto, and that'll be the only way to save him, because Gaara said, like, that's the only way that he can be saved right now, is if he gets that chakra. So we have that going on, and Gaara's, pretty much saying, like, Naruto, you better hold on. We're doing what we can to save you. Sakura's doing what she can. She's holding her emotions together. She's, that tension. I really like that going on right there. This is someone, she's thinking back on Naruto's life, and she's telling him, that stupid dream that you had, that you wanted to accomplish, you're so close to it. You got to hang on. So that was great. I love that scene right there. The next scene that we get, or the one that I want to get into, is Karin. She knows that Sakura, or Sasuke, is pretty much dying right now. He's on, basically at death's door, and she's trying to make her way to him. And on the way there, or trying to get to him, she's showing a little bit of what she's made of, because she's going pretty much all Kushina on the Buddha statue. She's manifesting these abilities that Kushina had, Naruto's mom, whereas the chains were coming out, the chains that pretty much binded the Nine Tails, where she was able to hold him down, pin him down, and basically pull the Nine Tails, control him, But she's doing that with the big Buddha statue. The what is it? The 10,000 hand. I don't know. But it's like the miniature version of the first Hakage's Buddha statue that we saw during his flashback scene during the battle with Madara. Um, and she's pretty much like all on like I got to get to Sasuke, and she's just decimating that statue, which is great. I'm glad to finally see her do something other than just, oh, Sasuke, you have the hearts coming out, you feeling like she loves him, but she obviously she does love him, the way that she's trying to get to him. So I really like that. But at the same time, she's pretty much trying to get through the statue, and the statue, of course, is being held up by the Zetsu that was holding that's possessing Obito. And it just, when Karin makes her move, everybody's pretty much surprised. They're like, holy crap. And so that's when the team gets up, her team. God, I can't think of the water ninja name off the top of my head, but he pretty much just jumps up and just like two pistols, just like pop pop, with the water, with his water, and he just shoots the Zetsu in the side of the head, and it breaks the mask, and we see Obito's head visible. But then we also have Orochimaru, the scheming, sneaky, snake, slithery kind of guy that he is, and his head just comes up and he just bites, grabs a hold of the Obito Zetsu guy at this point. The Zetsu, because the Zetsu has control of the body, and he puts a cursed seal on him, which is freaking brilliant at this point. So I'm loving that, and the third Hokage just sitting back like, wow, Orochimaru did it. He got in and he got a hold of him, and Obito, Zetsu just dropped, and it looks like he can't move. So it looked like the venom has a hold on him. Don't know how long that's gonna last. Not really quite sure on that. But it was good to see. It was good to see Orochimaru finally jump in, because thus far Orochimaru, I'm like, he hasn't been a major impact going in and doing anything per se, but besides coming in, bringing in, helping Sasuke resurrect the four Kages, and then coming in and then healing the Kages, the Kages, Tsunade, the Raikage, Mizukage, Kazekage, all of them. He came in, orchestrated that to get them healed and get them back in the fight, and now he shows up at the fight, and he's just been sitting there taking everything in, coming in, taking. True to his form, I'm like, the man is great, and I love it. I'm loving Orochimaru back in the game, seeing the impact that's having. Madara, we get to see Madara finally, and he's pretty much taking in the chakra. He has his Rinnegan, and he pretty much just all goes badass and just turns basically into the Sage of the Sixth Path. And that's, I'm just like, that was beautiful, beautiful artwork there. That the visualization of drawing him out, making him look the way he does. Just, I guess, maybe it's just something about, when you get the Rinnegan and you get that chakra, and you just naturally take on the form of the Sage of the Sixth Path. And maybe I don't know. Maybe everybody's just like, he was just so badass. This is what we're gonna say that he looks like. But because I've noticed, like with Naruto and his cloak, and Manito with his cloak, Toby taking on some of those, or Obito taking on the form. There are certain similarities. So now I'm thinking, I'm like, well, hell, what did the Sage of the actual Sage of the Sixth Path, what did he look like? And the form that came on to him was that just like this astral manifestation of, this is how people visualize the Sage of the Sixth Path. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas. But he looks badass. So I love the artwork on that. All in all, this was um, a pretty great chapter. A lot happened in a sense, but I love we see all the important we have all the important beats going on with Naruto, Sakura, Gaara, with Karin jumping in, manifesting, showing the manifestation of her new abilities, and then also in something else with that, we see Orochimaru finally. He's like, oh, I get it. I finally get it. He understands something about Karen's powers now, because he was the one who was like, okay, she has the same ability as Kushina, Naruto's mom, did, and I love it when we see Orochimaru just getting something, or you can tell he's always scheming or plotting or something. He's the one that in my opinion, he's like the villain that you have to keep your eye on, because all throughout the series it's been like, man, how much did Orochimaru know about Akatsuki, or the plans that were going on that were supposed to be secret, but Orochimaru somehow figured it out, or Orochimaru knew about the Rinnegan, or how he knew about, it's always, it seems to me it's always coming back to Orochimaru. But right now it's just all about Madara. Honestly, I'm like, because the amount of ass kickings that he's thrown out, it's just been kind of ridiculous at this point. But yeah, so all in all, this was a great chapter. I'm looking forward to next week's chapter. It's going to be great. I'm sure of it. So yeah, I'm like, this was a good time. So tell me guys what you guys think about it. Anything that pop out, to you. And feel free to comment, rate, subscribe down below. Check me out social media, Google Plus, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. It's all there. So until next week, guys, stay safe, stay cool, and catch you later. Peace.